This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. Welcome back to Joy's Creative Finger. I've built a sophisticated socialite mansion using some of the items that we will unlock in the Sophisticated Socialite update that will be going live on the 29th of January. I built this socialite mansion on the French chateau plot because I thought it was befitting, but on a much bigger plot, the premium one, you get to have a much bigger pool, as you saw in the thumbnail for this video. But for the purposes of AR, I've chosen to build it on a small plot and fully furnish it so that you can see what the interior looks like. One of the reasons I don't particularly enjoy the tour in AR is because there are some features that are lacking, in the sense that we don't have feature walls in AR. It's a completely different build when you look at it in a few minutes when we tour in proper mode. But for now, we're going to see what the guest room looks like you can see here. It's a small space, but still luxurious. And the master bedroom is massive, and it has most of the items that we have collected in this event, or will collect in this event when it goes live for you all. So that's the master bedroom. She's got a massive closet, and I'm speaking about the socialite who lives here. She's got the Louis Vuitton. She's got all the fancy pieces of items that you could possibly buy from a mall at very expensive prices. But this is her massive space with a double door entrance, and once we go back downstairs, you find that we've got this lovely massive hallway space where there's a drinks cart, an area to socialize, and in the actual build you'll see that parts of this house have pink accents against the white. And of course, as I say, everything that we will unlock in the game is actually in this build, as you can see here. So this is the living room. Again, there should be a splash of pink on one of the walls, which makes it so fancy when you look at it. And as I say, you'll see it in a few minutes. And then we have a dining room area here. I wanted to have these platters set out and use these chairs because they were completely different and unusual in the space. However, you have to have real chairs for your Sims to sit at a dining and wine and dine. Okay, now we're going to look at this build overall so that you can see what it looks like. If you want to recreate it and you find that you can't do it by just looking at this build, then of course leave a comment for me down below and I will put a live build together. It's a very simple build, I have to say. So let's get started. I saw a picture of a socialite mansion online, and that is why I built this house. It's an exact replica from the front anyway, as you can see here. And I was inspired to try and replicate what I saw, and it wasn't that hard to do, although there are a lot more corners in the front part of this build that makes it look like an oval in a way. But you can see right into the house, you can see the living room, the big wall art, you can see the infinity pool through to the back and the living space and so on. So I tried in my own way to do that, as you can see here, and I think I did a good job, at least maybe 70-60%, who knows. Well, this is what it looks like in Sims FreePlay. I absolutely love it. And of course, there's a sports car, you've got the massive grounds and so on. And one of the reasons I built it on the French chateau plot, you'll see in the description for this video that one of the events that will be returning in this update would be the French romance rerun. So I wanted to combine the two, and I think that, as I say, this is the best grounds in the game for me anyway. I think that you can build a traditional house on it or a modern house, as you can see here, and I just love the white or beigey palette that it stands on. I think it's beautiful. Now we're going to quickly go inside, and as you see in the picture that I showed earlier, you've got to work your way around the pool to get to the front door, and that's what we have here. And when you come through these set of doors, of course, the socialite who lives here has a butler. What does she do? She parties, she has drinks, she hosts guests, she goes to charities, balls, galas, and so on. So she's got the fabulous clothes, the fabulous things in life. So she's got an area in the entrance here for you to, say, sit down and be entertained, or it's just a spot where people would gather. It's the foyer. Now you've seen this in AR already, but now you're seeing how the rooms connect, and this is the bar section. Now the good thing about this bar is that it can go outside, so you can definitely set this up outside and have a party with your Sims. But in here they have a great view of the pool, and this is the only room that has the regal wallpaper as an accent wall at the back, as you can see, or a feature wall, and on the other side where there are windows. Now when you come through out past the staircase, it goes upstairs, of course. You have a coat rack. I love the red options in the collections that will be unlocked. There's a phone on the side of the wall, looks like a light switch. And then you come through to a frosted glass door that leads into the bathroom. So no one can see you making use of the space, but I thought that the blacks and the pinks are the themes I've got going through. This is a designer toilet. I thought it works in this house because I would have used the ones I unlocked for the luxury pack, but this is not my game, so I'm using what works and what is available. Now the flooring, of course, comes with this event. It's got a shine to it, as many of the other surfaces do. And now we come past the foyer around into the kitchen area here. I'd like to capture the idea or the feel of coming through into an open plan space through arches and so on. I've created a specific area for the refrigerator. I loved what I had done here because, again, I do not like the fridges in the game, but this is the kitchen. It's very slick and all appliances are put away and brought out as and when, if ever at all, she cooks. This is what the view is for the windows in the kitchen space, and there's another pink wall at the back there. So we come back out to the foyer, and then we've got this living room area. So you've got this partying area, you've got the fireplace. Don't forget, this fireplace goes outside as well as indoors, so you could create a rooftop event of some sort and it'll be fabulous. Okay, but this one here is the choice I've gone for because there's a black one, and you will notice that I've gone for more of the red collection, and that's why we've got the dark walls. I would have used a regal wall, but it wasn't hot enough or dark enough for this space. That's why it's where the bar is. So this is what you have for the living room area. I think it's beautiful and supple in a way, and I just want to go in there and sit down. Now in AR, the entire room is black, and now this works perfectly in here, and they can walk in and sit there and drink in front of the telly. I think that is amazing. That is just absolutely amazing. I think I'll do that later, but here we are. This is where we've got the entertainment area. I've put down some red roses, the floor lamps, which are gorgeous, and the marble table is just a delight to look at. And then you work your way through to the dining room. Now, again, I've gone for blacks and pinks. It's just given it this proper look of sophistication, in my opinion. And as said before, these chairs do not allow your Sims sit and dine, but I wanted to use it here because it looks sophisticated enough. And again, a great view of the pool while they dine. So this is what you have for this dining space. But again, you could make use of land and create some of these spaces outside. In some of these really posh homes, you get things and seating areas outside. In Sims FreePlay, the plots are either really long or they're a complete square of, I think, 18 by 18 squares. So it depends. I'm still going to do another build for you all of a different style in some way, but this is what you have for the ground floor of this sophisticated mansion. Now you can see the way the pinks work with the soft white in the corner with the blacks, and I think it pulls together quite tidy, and it's a shock, isn't it? You know, you got the hot black and then you got the, you know, bright pinks, and I think it works. I really think it does. I love the space, but I couldn't get that in AR, and that's unfortunate. Now when you come upstairs, you have a room to the left or right, depending on which way you came up or when looking at the screen. But here you are. Because it's a small space, I wanted them to have a lot of windows. You have to imagine that you click on a button and the blinds come down and there's privacy, but they have a view of this beautiful fountain, and I thought that this onion set was brilliant in the space to make it sophisticated. And they've got that golden dome lamp there in the corner, and I think it's beautiful. And there's a coat rack as well, so they've got enough storage too. And as I say, with the windows, it creates the feel of openness instead of feeling claustrophobic. When we work our way back out from this area, you see that there is a galley type style of a landing in this space that has all these frames and pictures and beautiful lighting right through and through. And as you walk past the first room, you have a door that leads into a family bathroom. Now, of course, a tub wouldn't fit in here, so we've got a shower in there, and you know, some of these much older units for a sink and a toilet, but it looks clean and classy enough for the space. As I say, I couldn't use certain items that I do have in my game. I've done what I could with the game that I've been given to preview this build, and again, a special thanks to EA for that. Now, this is the master room. I'm in love with this space. You've got the deep red floor. I was inspired by the colors of the red that we've unlocked or will unlock. And there's a seating area in this corner. You can see the hydrangea plants outside. What you could do is take away the chair and set a door there leading out to the balcony and put out some lounge chairs or something. So you could do that totally. And then there's a coat rack again up here with the fabulous bags and an umbrella and so on. It's a long length room, and the deep red works brilliantly with the purple, and there is some gold accents in the purple patterned wallpaper that pull in with the bed. And then you got the purpley lavender flowers that pull in with the purple in the wallpaper, and of course covering up with the windows take down the pattern, you know, the heavy pattern, and leave just a little bit of it at the top there, as you can see. I think it's a beautiful space. And then of course, with a click of a button, there are blinds that cover the entire windows. Let's work with our imagination here. So it's a nice space, it's a beautiful room, and as I say, you could make use of the balconies if you want to. Now, it's an ensuite, of course, for a socialite. She's got this massive, beautiful closet space filled with all her luxury items. She's got lovely dresses from different designers all outlined for her on a rack, a golden rack. It was a good thing she's just come up in time. So I'm going to work with her and he can go downstairs or do something. Well, that's the butler that I've been using to show you the entire space. Now she can sit up on this stool by this lovely luxury vanity, and so look, just gold all through and through, but she can't interact with this vanity. That's the thing about this vanity, but there she is. She's gorgeous. She's got all these shoes, she's got all these bags, and yeah, her lover could sit on the chaise and just sit down and watch her get all dolled up and so on. Now, of course, there is an ensuite to the space, and it's right in the corner over here. Again, a shower stand. She's got all the things she needs to get cleaned up, and this is the unit for her. Now, you have to remember this is on a small plot, and not only is it on a small plot, the shape of the house is very unusual, and so creating rooms would have been quite difficult, and it was. But there's a room here, there's a family bathroom, there's a master bedroom, there's a big closet space, and it has its ensuite. So that space for the closet could be a bedroom of its own, and you could split the main master room into 2 rooms if you wanted to. You really could make it work because it's quite a lengthy room. So there are ways to make you get, say, 2 bedrooms in here, 3. This could be an ensuite of its own because, you know, and then you've got the bar. That could be a room when you take the bar outside instead. So you can get about 3 or 4 rooms out of the space, even with the shape of the house as you can see it. So I'm really pleased with this, but I wanted her to have the excessive space because she's a socialite and she doesn't really have a family. So it's just a luxurious space for her to party and, you know, host events and have friends and so on. So I'm just getting them down to interact with some of the items that you would have seen. Don't forget to look in the description of this video for links to the other videos uploaded with regards to this update. You have the Urban Chic event, you've got the Socialite event where you get to see more of how all these things work and how much they cost, and yeah, there is also an update schedule for you to look through to see what's coming back. There are reruns for the Ice Palace, the French Romance update, a long hair event, and so on. So I want to thank you so much for watching, and there is one thing I'm going to do, which is sort of let's get him to come and wait for a customer. It says wait for customer, but you know what? He's a butler in here, okay? As she does have one. He has a cart out here where he could give people drinks sitting at that spot. And of course, as you know, if you've watched the video for the actual Sophisticated Socialite update, you'll see that he goes across and he can take an order and hand over a drink to whoever has placed an order, and that individual will work their way to a bar stool and a counter and sit down and have a drink. Now, if the bar area is completely full, then they'll actually stand up and have the drink for the full 8 minutes, and I think that's beautiful. But if you want them to interact and talk to each other, as you saw earlier on, then you have to use the chairs and table arrangement that you see here where this butler is, and that's where they'll be. So I'm going to leave them here for you to see. And as I say, if you want a life build for this, let me know in the comments down below. I'm still going to try and build some other style of property with some of the items that we have won. I think it's beautiful, and I hope you do everything you can to complete in time. Thank you so much for watching finally, and I will see you again soon. Bye.